Hey, and welcome back to the Replayer Podcast. My name is Pagan, and I'll be your host for this week. And joining me this week is, of course, my lovely co-host, Dan.
Hello!
Hello! That was a really nice, positive hello. And joining us this week are the lovely Margot and Beth. Hello.
Hi.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
Yay!
Welcome.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. So we start off with the podcast, as we always do, with how you kind of found the Retro Replay channel or how you found this community. Can we start with Margot? Margot, how did you start with Retro Replay? How did you discover the channel?
So last year at Comic-Con Africa, Troy and Nolan actually came. Like really surprised. Like I didn't know who Troy was back then, because I wasn't actually like a gamer, so I didn't play games. And I knew Nolan from Pretty Little Liars. So I was like, gosh, fangirling out. And I met him when we took a photo, and he was like, do you watch Retro Replay? He did like a self-promotion. And I was just like, no. So he kind of got me into like watching Retro. And then I was just like hooked. And then a few episodes later, like I started from scratch before like I like actually joined in with like every week's one. And then like a few episodes in, they were like, oh, we have a Discord, by the way. And I was just like, oh my god, somewhere I can share my weirdness with. So yeah, that's how it started. And then it just continued from there.
Oh, that's so nice. When was Comic-Con Africa? What month of the year last year?
September last year. End of September.
Okay. You're fairly recently new to the show.
I'm new to it, newbie, but I don't feel like a newbie. That's the thing.
I feel like the community is very good at doing that, though. Like you can catch up on all of the episodes in like 3 days, and then you're just as good as the rest of us. Like we're all in it together. Then
and then like the second I started Discord, I was just like, everyone was like, "Hi!" I was just like, you don't know me. Why are you all so like nice? And then we just started like a family, and now I know, right?
What is this positive?
Like I'm not used to this kind of stuff. So and then like now I'm like friends with people that like I haven't even spoken to like face to face, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, you're like my bestest friend. And like I don't even like know your favorite color, but they're so nice. Yeah, they just like, I don't know, like it's such a nice community.
It's a welcoming community. We're all like,
that's kind of what I meant.
We're all special.
We're all special here. We're just a bunch of big nerds. Big nerds.
Lovable nerds.
Really positive and friendly nerds. It's really nice.
Even like when you're sad, you're like, oh, hi. I love you still, but I'm so sad.
And like, everybody like zooms to your support, man. Like people just come straight at you.
And then like 2 seconds later, 2 seconds later, you're like the positive person ever. Like you're like out of the dumps. Everyone picks you up. You're just like what's happening? Did I take something? Did I drink too much? Like, why am I feeling positive and have this energy all of a sudden? But it's actually like just the people in Retro Replay and in the Discord.
It is. It's a good community. They're good eggs. We're good eggs.
Good eggs.
Right.
All right. Not like we have a podcast about it or anything. Jesus.
We're not that cool, hey, to have a podcast. Just
can
cool.
Can I throw out a little tangent that I just thought of when you said that?
Go for it.
This past episode, we'll get to that, but in the live chat, I thought there was a really funny moment where I was commenting and I made a joke about something that was happening in the episode, and someone in the live chat was like, have you ever even seen this show before? And I was like, I have a podcast about this show.
I actually saw it.
Yeah, you commented about it.
I saw him be like, what's the podcast called? And I was like, oh, he's talking about my podcast. So I'm like, oh, it's the Replay podcast. Come join me and Dan. We're amazing. And then I now realize the context of that. Oh.
It was good.
Have you ever seen this show?
Have you ever seen this show before? Like, he added me. Okay.
I would have been like, no, what's it about? Is it live?
What is this? Who are these people?
Troy
Come on my podcast.
Is this real?
Nolan North. Perfect. And Beth, how did you find the community? What was your introduction to the show?
Dueling South.
Mine was during Thankmas for Jacksepticeye 2 years ago.
Another
2018.
Jacksepticeye.
Who?
Oh, I think
2018.
Abby as well.
Oh.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's when Troy was like, "Oh hey, we're doing this, and we have this for like the next person that donates $1,000, and it's the blue retro replay T-shirt." It was like the very first ones and stuff, and I was like, "I need to watch this." So I was also playing the Uncharted series, and I was like, "Wait, they're in it? What? Wait, what's going on?" So
Huh?
yeah.
What? Huh? What? Who?
Yeah.
They voice people in the games? I love people who go to Nolan and they're like, "Hey, do the Nathan Drake voice," and you're like,
It's me. What are you talking about? What?
I'm doing the Nathan
Yeah.
Drake voice at all times.
"Yeah,
Right, exactly.
it's just his voice."
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So again, through Jacksepticeye, I think Abby had said that she was from the Jacksepticeye community as well, and someone else.
Yeah. That's how I
Yeah.
saw.
I think
the
I watched my
show,
first ever
but
Jacksepticeye
because-
video. Finally.
Finally,
Finally.
took you fucking long enough.
And I was like, oh yeah, he's super Irish, and then I clicked away.
Oh god, super Irish. Oh,
It depends on
take
which
it
one
away.
did you watch.
No, that wasn't the reason. I
There's so
actually, I was
many.
just wanted to see his format and how he does his videos.
Yeah, I like it.
There is none.
I like his. It depends on the video because
Yeah.
I like his playthroughs, and that's mostly the reason why I watch him.
And
But
then you found Retro Replay, and they started
Yeah.
doing playthroughs too.
yeah.
Yay!
Yeah, but because I live in Rhode Island, I always heard the name Nolan North, but I couldn't connect the name with the voice or the face. And then when he said that he was from Rhode Island, I was like, that's the guy. So,
That's the guy.
Hey,
that's
it's that
him. That's
guy.
That's all the fuss about.
Oh well,
That
that's
was
super
the-
nice.
That was
So-
the dad in Pretty Little Liars.
See this thing?
Yeah,
I've
that's
never
how
seen
I-
Pretty Little Liars.
No, neither have I. But everybody in my school did, and I was like, I'm also.
No, I am like a really big fan of Pretty Little Liars. So, like to me, it was like really.
Never
And
heard
now
of it.
that I know, like he was actually like in Charter, and like in that, and I'm just like that's like thus, like multiplied
Mhm.
Aha!
or like yeah. So it's
Like-
it started
I
out
found
yeah.
VHS.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So like we're gonna move on to the guest show questionnaire. However,
Yeah.
I feel like you mentioned slightly that you don't play a lot of video games. Do you play a lot of video games, Margot?
I play Assassin's Creed. Like that's my life.
Okay, that's fine.
That's
that
like
is
my
fine.
life. And I play like I bought all the Uncharted games. Still not haven't played it. Bought The Last of Us. Haven't played it. Played Sims a lot. Like I love Sims.
Okay, so there are some games.
So there are
in that.
some,
Okay.
and there are some that I don't play, but like a friend had it, so like maybe I can like join
Uh-huh.
into the conversation.
Because
But
listen, this is a
Right.
gaming podcast first and foremost. You got to have requirements to get in here.
Yeah.
Make us send you
oh,
out the
I'm
door.
sorry. I'll quickly play a game. Like I also
Quickly
played
play
Nancy Drew
something.
when I was younger. That's that. Oh, and
Nancy Drew video game.
Yeah.
yeah, like I played Nancy Drew. Like I do play like shooter games as well. But
This list is growing exponentially.
Yeah, I feel like this is like it started with just Assassin's Creed,
it's
and
not-
now we're at like
Pagan,
shooters.
why were you unsure?
but
Uh,
but it's not like religiously like every day or every like month. It's maybe like twice. But
A
Assassin's
year.
Creed is like every day.
Okay,
Assassin's
okay.
Creed is like every day though.
All right, okay. Well, I mean, I suppose we could move on to the guest questionnaire, and it will be game centered. If there is an answer that you
Yeah.
don't have, not sure of, we can move past it, or if you prefer to answer different.
I'll try to.
This is
I'll
guys that
try
will-
my best.
Okay, well that's no problem.
Because
Um,
this is a learning curve as well.
It's a learning curve for everybody, believe me. It's still a learning curve for me. With the guest questionnaire, I'll do it the same way Dan does it. And we'll open up the question to both of you, and then we'll have like each answer if that's okay. So the first question we're gonna ask is, what was your first introduction to gaming? Beth, we can start with you.
My first introduction to gaming was through my dad. He was playing on the really old desktop computer that we had, and he was playing like Minesweeper or something like that, and I was like, "What are you doing?" I just wanted to sit on his lap and just watch him play
Why
games.
you click boxes?
Yeah.
Yeah, why you click boxes? Why you shoot these little things moving? Why are you doing Pong,
Cute.
Minesweeper, and Space Invaders?
Oh, okay.
So
Okay. And did you what was your first like console or anything? Did you have a console that you started playing with first or
so
platforms?
for me, the first console was actually the Game Boy, the original Game Boy.
Oh, the
So
handheld.
yeah.
That's nice. That is nice. I also had a Game Boy. Ah, so fun.
Yeah.
When I found out that you can get the little, what are they called? Like the apps that make your phone like the Game
Oh,
Boy
emulators.
emulators. Oh
Mm.
wow, that changed my life. I was like, oh my god, Pokemon's back, and I started like I lost a lot of hours going backwards in time. Margot, what about you?
So I also had a Game Boy when I was really young. I can't remember exactly what age, but it was before like 10. So my mom just like gave me this thing and she was like, you can play games onto computer games, like also like those desktop computers that's like this wide and like this broad.
Oh yes.
And then I played like very much Barbie games on there. I had this
Barbie
one
games. It's okay.
I had
It's
this one
okay.
Barbie game. It was based on Rapunzel, and like the
Aw.
castle
Bobby Rapunzel.
was the castle was like dead or something. I don't know. It was like completely black, and you went to each room and you had to paint it and make it alive again. So I played that, and there
That
was
sounds
other
adorable.
cake baking game. Like I baked cakes. So that was like when I started, and then I kind of like lost interest, and then now, like last year, I started again.
Aw. I think that like those kind of games when I was younger, I totally forgot about them. But yeah, I totally
still
played games
have
that are like
them.
that, like baking or like Farmville. Anybody remember Farmville from playing Facebook
Farmville
back in the day?
Isn't
Oh, I
that
lost a lot of
still
hours
like
that too.
on?
I think that's
It's
still
on
going. Yeah,
Facebook, yeah.
It's still. I think it's still going. Yeah.
I think that's
Probably.
crazy. I mean, if I'd still played that since I was in college, like I would be best farmer ever. I'd have so much points and everything. It'd be great.
And then Sims 1. Oh, Sims 1 was also nice.
We have spoken about this before, where if you go back now to Sims 1 and like look at the gameplay, even on like on YouTube and stuff like that, it blows my mind how far they've come. But I actually really liked the original Sims 1.
It
Like
was
I loved it. It was
nice.
just brilliant. I feel like
It
Sims
was.
4 is okay now, but like like Sims 1 is still really good.
Yeah.
Alone in that opinion, some popular opinion.
No,
You should know by now I'm not a big
like
Sims
Sims
fan,
1.
so
That's true.
I've shit on Sims enough. You
I
could
will
be
say,
like
Dan,
Tom
you're
though, because like Tom last week was saying about how he was playing that one mobile game for 5 years.
Yeah.
yes.
Throw back to Tom last week.
Yeah, just a name drop for Tom. That was crazy. I couldn't believe that he's played a game every day for 5 years. Just a little, like in the morning or whatever, like just a couple minutes or whatever.
I want to
Crazy.
do that though.
Yeah, something to get committed to.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Commitment.
Thanks.
Pause.
Pagan pause.
Then
Greg pause.
I
so
go
he's just
up. Yeah.
all the time.
Right, so we're back.
I feel like
We're
I
back.
should
We're
be
back.
a professional statue.
What was your first console? If you so you said it was a Game Boy, right? You both have Game Boy.
Yeah. I still have my Game Boy somewhere. And then I got my computer and then a PSP.
Oh, now there is a platform we haven't spoken about in a while. I
love
was actually going to say, if you guys are playing games at the moment, do you have a preferred platform to play video games on? Either Beth?
PlayStation.
Hey,
Same.
Beth, get out
The
your
new
whiteboard or your blackboard. She made a blackboard for me. Did you see that?
it's me.
Oh.
Oh, sick. You might want to add 2 more to there. Thank you so much. I'm heck yeah.
I don't know how accurate the tallies are, but
Yeah.
we definitely know that PlayStation
The
is
important
winning.
thing is
Well,
that
this
I'm
is episode 39, and there's maybe 3 people that prefer Xbox so far. So
3 or 4. At least
So-
Tom had your back on Xbox.
Yeah, I have 3
Yeah.
on Xbox and 7 on PlayStation. So.
Yeah, I feel like there's definitely more than 7 that's been on here.
PlayStation.
But it's
Well,
okay. Right about it.
how many people said other than the 2?
Very rarely. I think we've had
There's
2 or
been
3 people say
maybe
PC.
2 or 3 people that said PC.
Yeah. So actually, yeah, PlayStation's winning.
Yeah.
I like
Either way,
PlayStation is the best.
You're all a bunch of
wish now I
PlayStation
had-
zombies.
I wish I had now like PlayStation merch on me because you're wearing Xbox merch.
Damn right.
That would have been so good. How did we not coordinate this?
You
Dan?
always wear PlayStation merch.
I fucking know. And the one day I don't, you wear Xbox. I see what you're doing.
I
Trying to market
I
some
have
crap.
Yoda with headphones.
Great.
Pagan doesn't
I
like
have
Star
a
Wars.
sweater, and then under that, I have Doctor Who.
Not really. Hey.
That's nice though. I like Doctor Who.
So PlayStation wins. So
PlayStation is the best.
Because you're all
Thank
I
you.
have a
brainwashed.
2 and a 4.
we are not all very much. We just like quality
We just like the
games.
controller better.
I hate
Yeah.
the PlayStation controller.
Right,
I
but
love
I don't
PlayStation
know. Like,
controller.
Hey,
The new one,
we
though,
can
I
definitely get
don't
onto
know.
that as well. In game
Anywho,
news.
I
We
don't
can.
like how it's here and then down, and then up here for the Xbox.
I
It
prefer
Yeah.
doesn't work with my fingers. It just my thumbs don't have
You can-
short thumbs. It doesn't work.
that. See,
That
I
is a
have the
nice
opposite problem
controller.
on the PlayStation where the controller, the joysticks are together. My
It's too
thumbs hit
close.
each other.
Yeah,
So-
I actually understand that.
I don't like that.
I understand that with the old PlayStation.
It is
controllers,
better
but
on the
new
4, I'll
one,
give you
because
that.
of the 4
I have a 4 controller right here too. So I mean,
Yeah.
like, it is better on these,
better with
It
the 4,
is.
yeah.
but I still
But I
like, my
would
hand
agree.
cramps on the controller because it's too small.
I would actually agree. I do like the PlayStation controller. I just think that Xbox is. Speaking of, right? I didn't want to put it in right now, but we are there, and it's going to be too silly to segue some other time. PlayStation released an image of their PlayStation 5 controller this week,
Yes.
and
And it looks
Oh,
like an
dang
Xbox
it.
controller.
it actually does.
It is.
It does. But they
I feel
still
like-
don't have the thumbs like this. They still have it like
Yeah.
this. So.
Because they
I
had to
feel
keep
like-
something to keep it unique as PlayStation.
But if an PlayStation and Xbox had a baby, it would be that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
agree. Agree.
But I don't know though. I don't know if it's comfortable. I've never
think so.
played
Well,
an
now until it comes
Xbox,
out.
so
Okay, so here's my thoughts. Firstly, it's sexy AF. Secondly,
yes.
I do.
It is.
I'm not talking to you, Xbox freak. I actually no. I think the
I'm gonna
Xbox
remix that.
controller. I'm gonna come out with a beatbox track. Y'all watch.
Do
I
it.
think that the Xbox controller, I would agree, is very comfortable. I'm just confused with the buttons, but that's because I have played PlayStation all my life. So when I was trying to play Bleeding Edge the other day, I was losing my damn mind trying to figure out what the fuck RT and RB was, and then like just pressing X and everything. I was like, but it's A.
X is
R1,
A.
R2, L1,
Yeah.
L2.
Well,
L1,
Yeah.
how I
L-
feel with
I
the,
just-
with the
T.
Switch
I got
as well,
lost.
because the X is on the opposite end for the Switch.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just think like it's hard for me to go from PlayStation to Xbox controller, but I do agree that Xbox controller is comfortable, which I think is why PlayStation are now giving that almost shape for like the groove of your hand to sit in. Because again, like I think that a PlayStation controller, right? This is where I stream. I didn't just happen to have this ready. It's just here because
Same.
my PlayStation is here.
Mhm.
I think that these are really comfortable for my hands, but my hands are tiny compared to like say Adam's hands or like men's hands in general. So I feel like this, although it's comfortable for me, may not be comfortable for someone who has bigger hands.
Can I show you this? This is
That
my
makes
ev-
goodness.
so much sense.
this is a third-party PS3 controller. every third-party PS3 controller looks like this.
It's so tiny.
It's
Look at the size of your
Xbox
hand.
shaped though. It's Xbox shaped.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, again, I agree with the whole like because they used to touch a lot on DS3, but I think like PlayStation 4 controller definitely improved that, and
Yes.
the analogs feel
did.
better. But I do like the analogs
To
on
me,
an
the
Xbox.
biggest
It's just
improvement
a
they
button
had
was
on the
confusing.
PlayStation controller is the curved
Is the triggers.
triggers.
Yeah. Same.
Agreed. Because that was
Mhm.
a nightmare. But I'm excited to
Yeah.
see where they're going with this, and I want to see the carbonation and design the controller.
However,
and
I
the
do still miss the
system.
start button and the select button.
I do too.
Do you?
I do.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I'm not a big
Yeah.
fan of the D-pad.
Options and
Or the
share. I'm
D-pad,
not a huge fan.
Touch.
the touchpad. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
I'm not a massive fan of this,
Mm-mm.
especially in games who try and incorporate it into their gameplay, like say like
Right.
Detroit, where you
Mhm.
had to like move stuff on the D-pad.
Yeah,
stop.
I just don't.
It just doesn't work for
know.
me. It like breaks the
Mm.
whole thing.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm excited to see the design of PS5 from this controller.
Yeah,
Yeah. Same.
I
What
think
about
it's
you,
gonna
Dan?
be
As
so nice.
Yeah, me too. As an Xbox fan, right? And like, I mean, I'm a PlayStation fan, but I do like the look of the Series X, Xbox Series X, and their design and their newest controller, like as fuck. But as an Xbox fan yourself, are you in any way interested in what the PlayStation 5 will have to offer, their design, anything like that as a console?
Well, considering that the considering that the controller is kind of the first look at what we've gotten for their styling that they're going for,
Mhm.
I was happy to see the shape of the controller look closer to an Xbox controller because to me that says more comfortable, and that's a
Yeah.
big factor for me when it comes to the PlayStation controller. I did not like the styling though. It felt too overzealous as far as like we're futuristic as fuck.
I think it's extremely interesting that they've released a white or announced the white controller
Right.
um,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
a promotional thing rather than like their
They're
standard
painted
black with their
black.
colored
Yeah.
buttons.
That was quite.
I thought that was a
Yeah.
really good break away from them,
It's like
and
the blue. Yeah.
yeah,
My assumption is that
Um,
the console itself will have similar coloring.
I sure hope so, Dan,
Mhm.
because I thought it looked great.
That's where I put
Me
my
too.
sticker when I got my like the yellow thing, remember?
Oh
That
yeah,
you would
the
normally
decal.
put on the car. I put it on the place.
Yeah,
For
I would
Retro
put it on the
Replay.
PlayStation too because you can just flip the thing off, the front of the PlayStation off. You can take it to
Yeah.
conventions and get it signed and everything. Great. People bring in their whole PlayStations, and I'm like, just bring this little clip-on thing at the. That's all right. You do you, boo.
Mine's on the bottom of my PlayStation because that's how I have my wiring. Is like I had to flip it so the wiring could fit my TV and such. Very short
Oh.
distance, so.
I see. Yeah, I just think that it was a really interesting design choice for PlayStation to come out with, especially if it's a white console, and I feel like they're doing vice versa with Xbox, right? Because what was the last gen Xbox? Xbox One,
Yeah,
Xbox One S, which is a white console,
not
right?
necessarily. They were always traditionally black.
Oh, okay. You can just
X-
get it in white.
Xboxes have always been traditionally black every time.
Okay,
they
because
come
out.
we have a white one, so
Right.
I would just presume that it's that.
I
Do
mean,
you
they have
a
white
white one?
options, but the Xboxes themselves are generally black.
Oh, okay.
All of my Xboxes, except for special editions, were black.
Okay. Oh, okay. Interesting.
And I have an Xbox
They
One
just-
X now, which is all black. And then they came out with a white Xbox One X. And I think the whites became very common more because they probably sold out of the blacks sooner than the whites.
Okay. Yes.
And then I have an Xbox 360. I have two black Xbox 360s, and I have a Halo 4 special edition Xbox 360.
hmm
That's all blue and like see-through and cool looking.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
See-through.
I think that like there's something to be said, I guess, for white design now. I think there's definitely people who are leaning more to white designs for the aesthetic reasons. Like I just think it looks so pleasing, and just in the day and age that we are in now, like a lot of things. Okay, yes, I have a lot of white in my house, but I just think like aesthetically, I feel like there's a movement away almost from black, not into color, but into
I
white.
honestly wouldn't be surprised if PlayStation went with that white color scheme because the Xbox is sticking with their sleek black.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And
this is the thing.
PlayStation's
Like,
probably like, we want to be different.
that's it. That's the point I was gonna make. Is because obviously we have the white Xbox One S. I think we have the One S.
Probably.
But we have a white one, and then obviously the Xbox Series X came out, and it's beautiful little square cuber thing shape.
Rectangular.
Rectangle.
This shape that probably rectangle. I don't know. Who knows? That shape, the Xbox One X.
Parallelogram.
Yeah, this shape is really nice.
It's not a parallelogram.
And this super like sleek black design with the green on top is.
That's what the
really
PlayStation 5 should be. I'm sorry.
Whoa!
A
Coming out with those
parallelogram.
controversial
That
opinions.
would
Parallelogram, that'd be interesting.
be nice though. I like that.
This has been
like
an
that they're gonna go in
interesting
white.
side news tangent.
It is a side tangent. I probably would have gotten to later, but as we started talking about controllers, I felt like you kind of had to throw it in now. Otherwise,
Roll
it could
with
silly segue back into that. Halfway through the episode, be like, "Hey, remember that stuff we were talking about earlier? Let's go back to that, shall we?"
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, I have
I'll
an
just
unpopular
re-edit it and
opinion.
move things around.
yeah, just check in.
You can go back to an unpopular opinion.
Oh,
I
What
prefer
is-
Digimon over
It is real.
Pokemon.
you prefer Digimon over Pokemon?
I don't know how I feel
Just kidding.
about that. Hey.
But in what context, though? Like Pokemon to Digimon, like the TV shows, the video games?
Yes, the shows.
Okay.
The shows.
I agree with that.
I actually think I really did like that. When I was younger, I did prefer it, but I just preferred Pokemon because it's so cute. I didn't
I
really
like
Digimon.
Pokemon. I still like Pokemon better,
same.
like more.
You know what I'm doing recently? I've gone back to watch the Indigo League on Netflix. The Indigo League on Pokemon Netflix,
I
and
think
I'm
I
like,
watched through that
this is
last
so
year,
good.
year before last.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm on this anime kick now that I finished Ruby, and there's no
Oh,
more new episodes, and I'm like, so
Have
I
you
need.
Ruby
seen
is such
Seven
a
Deadly
great
Sins?
curve too, because it starts off at such a like their animation is very rough, and they get so good over the years.
And I'm so lucky that I found it late because I could then watch. How many seasons there? 7? Seven
They're on
seasons?
8 now, aren't they?
Yeah, but they've not released it yet.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, so I've watched all 7 seasons, but like I had them all available to me, so I was like, "Oh, brilliant! I can watch all this." And then I realized the
That's
flaw in my
the
plan.
best.
Yeah, it's good until it
Why?
runs out of episodes, and you're like, "No, my kick is
Devour all
gone."
of it.
That is
Yeah.
true. That's
Yeah.
true, but it's nice to binge something and not
It
be
is
like
nice to
you
binge.
only have like one episode of something and you have to wait a whole week or
Yep.
a few episodes. Yeah,
Mhm.
so that's nice.
Yes. I don't even know how to segue back into our guest questionnaire.
I was gonna say because we just keep tangenting off in little branches. So like,
Yes.
how about we get
Um,
back to getting to know our replayers?
Yeah, we'll go back into getting to know your players. Do
Oh
you,
my
so you
gosh.
guys have a preferred platform of PlayStation? Do you have a favorite game? You don't have to choose a PlayStation game if you have played a PC game that you absolutely love, but like, do you have a favorite game that has left a mark on your heart? Beth?
Any Assassin's Creed game.
Oh, Margot's any.
That is
Sorry,
a bold statement.
I just
Cut right
read
in.
it.
Go with
Just
it.
like
Go for it.
except Rogue. I didn't like Rogue
So
because I
any in
don't like
general?
the theme.
Pick one.
Basically, okay, pick one.
The
And-
Assassin's franchise.
There's
How about that?
Okay, that's true. That's a good. Yeah. fine.
There's gonna be so many people like not talking to me about this because this game gets so much backlash. But it's the new one, the Odyssey. That's my
Odyssey-
favorite.
I don't think Odyssey gets backlash. I think Odyssey is very popular.
Odyssey's-
And a lot of
yeah.
people respect it.
No, I have so many Creed fan groups.
I will
groups
say, Assassin's
Discords.
Creed Truest, are not big fans of Odyssey, but to general public,
Yeah.
to the masses, a lot of people really enjoy Odyssey.
That's true.
Uh-huh.
The thing is, they just like it doesn't have a hidden blade, so it's not a real Assassin's Creed game. And I'm just like, but Assassins didn't just pop out of thin air. It started with something, and you have to show that journey to get to like the
Sure.
timelines and everything else. But so that's my favorite one. Also, I like Greek mythology.
I love
So-
Greek mythology. That's the main reason I wanted to play Odyssey. Like,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh,
But like last year, I started playing Assassin's Creed from scratch for the second time, but in historical order and not order that it came out.
Ah.
So the
Interesting.
Assassin's
So-
Creed timeline kind of makes sense. So I started with Odyssey, Origin, Ezio Collection, and I'm now at Unity,
that's
which
clever.
kind of grows on me. It kind of grows.
I've heard a lot of people say that with Unity. Once you
It
get past like the
starts
bugs
off
and stuff.
really bad. Yeah, and then it gets good. And it's the only one you can play online with other people.
It wasn't true. I mean, you used to be able to play Assassin's Creed 2 online back in the day. I used to
I
play
don't think you can anymore.
Not anymore. The servers are probably shut down. But I
Oh.
used to play that game with friends when it came out. We would just do like the sneaking around and hiding, killing each other, murdering each
Oh.
other. It was fun.
Everyone just froze.
Yep.
Oh no.
Alright, we can
We're
pause.
fine on
I
mine.
mean, I'm not
It's just
moving,
you that.
so-
Yeah, it's just my end is bad. But so I only have Syndicate left. Okay.
Okay. So
And
you're a big
the
fan of the
Russian.
Assassin's Creed franchise, basically. The full franchise is pretty
Yeah.
hard. Okay.
So we could
Okay.
say that
Yeah.
Assassin's
What
Creed,
about you,
the
Beth?
franchise, is your favorite.
Yeah. The franchise.
So I have a lot of different ones.
Narrow it down.
So it really
Yeah.
it depends on my mood, I guess, or
Mhm.
what's going on. Like nostalgia-wise is definitely Ratchet and or Sly Cooper. Ratchet and Clank's good too, but
Okay.
Sly Cooper is definitely my like go-to whenever I want to be nostalgia. And then I really like God of War, which is
Okay.
why I love tuning into your Twitch channel there, Pagan.
Oh, thanks.
You're
I'm
welcome.
playing God of War every Tuesday, just so that we know on Twitch. Pagan replace. Thank you.
Shameless plug.
Shameless
You're
self-promotion.
Go to
And then if I want to play with friends, I'll usually go and play Dauntless.
Aha.
It's free Monster Hunter. It's
Pretty
free.
Okay.
You know where else you can play free Monster Hunter? On Xbox, on Game Pass. You can play
I
Monster
was just
Hunter.
saying the same thing. I was just saying, like, just Xbox Game Pass. Look, I will give it to you, Dan. We've already had this conversation. Xbox Game Pass is brilliant.
I was just saying that. You
PlayStation
don't
needs
have
to
to go
up their
down
game.
there.
You know what's great about Dauntless?
Yeah.
Though, is you can play Xbox as well as play Xbox. I can play PlayStation.
Crossplay.
Cross-platform.
It's cross-platform. It's
Oh, that's so
multi-platform.
cool.
It's awesome.
I
Love
can
it.
also play Dauntless
Um,
on my Switch and play my same character and like go back and
I
forth.
know.
That's
Can
so
you?
annoying.
Yes. Yes.
Is it free on Switch too?
It's free on everything.
No, but maybe I don't know. I haven't
It is.
downloaded it
It's
yet.
free to play on everything.
Oh
So this
my
thing will make it
goodness.
better.
Oh my goodness.
And the more
We know
it,
what we
updates, the more I'm like, yeah. And then like if I just want to chill out and play a game, now Animal Crossing. But
Sure.
yes, otherwise
jeez.
Minecraft.
Oh jeez.
Well, between her and then Margot's reaction, and then I know Pagan also plays Animal Crossing, I was like, okay, here we go. I'm just gonna take a break. I'll be back.
Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye.
Yeah. We'll just talk about Animal Crossing.
It's fine. We'll do a whole nother episode on Animal Crossing.
We
Okay.
There
could
you go.
side episode.
Yeah.
Right.
Like a
Along with all the
bonus.
other side episodes.
Yeah, we'll add that to the list.
Do you so
Okay.
with the games that you're playing now, is there any games that you're currently looking forward to coming out this year or next year? That would be like that is just something that you're like, yes, this is my genre. I can't wait to play this. It's gonna be great.
kind of hard now because not a lot of games are coming out because
All right, in the
of
next
the
3 years,
COVID.
when they're not played,
And-
or any games, you can't do The Last of Us
Well,
2
I already-
because everyone says that, and we
And
give
I
that
Now
as
you
a given.
ordered that.
can.
That's a given. It's a given. What about you, Margot? Anything that you're looking forward to
Probably.
coming out?
the new Assassin's Creed.
The as of yet
Should have seen
unannounced
that coming.
Assassin's Creed game.
Gosh damn.
I'm excited because like they are
Vikings.
quite whispered of the like maybe a 5 of Sims, like a Sims 5. There is like talk about it. So but I don't know if that's like just like
Can they really
rumors.
do a Sims 5? Look, they've done Sims like up to Sims 4, and I'm kind of like, is there anything else you could put in this that like I honestly think The Sims and Sims 2 were the best genres because of the expansion packs and everything. Now I know you have to pay for them and all, but they were just brilliant that you could just keep adding on. And then Sims 3 and Sims 4 came out, and I was like, these are okay, these are good.
I
But I
feel
just don't know
like
where you could go from here.
No, I feel like everyone is also using mods and like CC
True.
and stuff. So it makes the game in any way better. But like for me that's playing on a Mac, that like a laptop that doesn't have a lot of space, like you can't get mods. So I would like to see like some of those mods in like actual expansion packs.
Okay.
Because otherwise
Huh.
my game just breaks down.
Is there
They
anything
said
like
that there's gonna be a Vikings one, and they
Yes.
said that it's
that'd
gonna be
cool.
Ragnarok.
Mhm.
But some
Nice.
people said the name is just a rumor. So I don't
Okay.
know.
It's been a rumor for a long time, though. Now.
Yeah, it's been like
Yeah, that's just
Like,
sci-fi.
I want to say
probably
3
almost-
years.
maybe, yeah. But like now
Ooh.
it's kind of getting like where it's like more serious because I think they said they wanted to be released in September or October.
Oh, this year?
I can't. Yeah. But no, I don't know about the whole.
Yeah, I
pandemic
presume it's
thing.
gonna be pushed back now. Aw,
Yeah.
aw.
Possibly. Unless it was
Oh, I
really close
don't
to being
know.
finished already because they might have had it planned where they announced it at E3 this year for it to release this fall.
Okay.
So it could be really close to being finished already. Because we're going on 3 years now since Assassin's Creed Odyssey, right?
That's true.
Yeah, this is like the 3rd year. Yeah.
Well, that'd be pretty cool. I like the Assassin's Creed games. I think I've only ever played one. I think the first one, and I tried another one later on, and I just didn't really get into it. But I think it's because I clipped in. I think it was the last of the Ezio trilogy.
Hmm.
So I
Oh
was
yeah,
kind of like, I was clipping into something else. I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure these stories are connected, but I didn't.
yeah. So like each story is connected. Like the way I'm playing now with the historical, you play like 3 after you played 5 or 4. You yeah. So and 3 links up with Unity. Like the ending is the same as the start of Unity. So it like kind of like makes the story.
Oh, I see.
So
I
that's
see.
why I'm
Oh.
playing it that way.
Super exciting times, I guess, for any Assassin's Creed player that you're going to come out with another one. I think because they are they're almost like a cult following at this point. Like they're just releasing them.
I
There
would
must
say
be like
that.
70 Assassin's Creed games. That's always exciting.
Yeah.
Beth, is there anything that you're looking forward to that's coming out in the next couple of years?
The Avengers game.
Yeah.
Adventure
you-
game.
That was good.
How
Yeah,
can I
Marvel
not know
Avengers.
about
Yeah, it looks
You
good.
don't know about this?
Mhm.
No, I don't know about.
Oh.
I'll go.
I didn't know it was going to be like a multiplayer universe thing until recently, but then I think
Yeah,
we were having a
same.
discussion beforehand. I think was it last week?
It was last
Dan,
week's
where
episode we were
there will
talking
be a
about it.
single
Yeah.
campaign.
It'll have a
will
single
be a
player
single
campaign
campaign?
and multiplayer like components.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be really nice. I think like I'm a big single player person. Not that I don't like playing online. I do. I just don't ever. And I don't ever get the time to do it. So I'd prefer to just play single player campaign.
Well, of course, the multiplayer
Yeah, I
in this
don't
game
like
is going to be
people.
more cooperative. So it'll be like you play together with
Yeah.
your friends to complete the mission.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh,
I like
that's
that.
nice. I like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope
Those are
that
my
they
kind
do
of
that
like
'cause-
co-op and online multiplayer games. I prefer
Yeah,
cooperative.
Right. I played a multiplayer online game recently, and you had to finish the entire story before you could, or at least the entire map before your friends could come in and help you. It was horrible.
Oh no.
I
That's how
disliked
Monster
it.
Hunter kind of
Like,
works, and it's
Yeah.
really frustrating.
that's so it wasn't Monster Hunter that we were playing. It was Warframe
Yeah.
or
Oh, okay.
yeah, it was. We got to a point where we're like, okay, we're done with this. This is not worth the however
Nah.
much
Yeah.
it was on PS. So
I think that'd be really nice though for the Marvels one. Are you much of an online player? I know you mentioned Dauntless before. Through your
I wasn't until I got my PS4. So
Okay.
and then that's when I was like, okay, now I can play online and I can do online games with my friends from California and
Hey,
then
that's so
Retro
cool.
Replay
That's
and I can
nice,
go all the way around the world.
Yeah. Yeah, I
That's
do like
nice.
that. I like that idea about
I like
multiplayer that it's not just me and my friends here in Wexford, like it's me and Dan playing Borderlands and he was in New York, or it was, it's me and someone else playing Overwatch and they're in California or New Zealand or wherever, and it's really nice that we
Yeah.
can just bring people together. Oh.
I like that.
Dan's
Online
like,
gaming made a big impact on my life, mostly when I went into the military. Because up
true.
until that point, I played online games, but it was mostly like
I
me and my
didn't know you were
friends
in the
sitting in the room
military.
together, playing random whoever on the internet, like playing Halo or Rainbow Six
Oh,
or
yeah.
something. But then when I moved to California for the military, that's how I still socialized with my friends back in New York, was by playing online games with them. And a lot of times we were
That's
playing like Halo, like other cooperative games like Resident Evil 5 because they had the co-op campaign. So I've got my friends that I'd always play online with. That's how I stayed connected with them over the years.
hmm Did you? I don't think I heard that before. I don't think you've told me that before.
I don't think I've talked about it
I
either
didn't
on the
even
show
know
or
that you were in the
otherwise.
Really
military.
nice though.
I've talked
Yeah.
about
It
being in
is
the
a
military a
nice
couple of times, but yeah.
story.
You definitely have, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I also shared the story about when I was in the military and I got my first PlayStation 3. It was air delivered to my ship in the middle of the ocean. Because I am that big of a nerd.
Commitment.
I didn't intend for that to happen. It's just how it happened. I ordered the
That's a cool
Metal Gear
story, though.
Solid 4
That is a cool
special
story.
edition, and I ordered it to get sent to my ship, and I got deployed, and then it got delivered to my ship in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
That's
So
really
cool.
That's a really nice story. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed that story.
Yeah.
Damn, I don't have any of those cool stories. I just bought mine from stores.
I
Just
Yeah.
beef it up.
I was gonna say I just used my tax return to buy mine.
Oh, yeah, it's just like
You're
the same
so
old one story.
late.
Yeah, I had mine fucking airshipped in onto a helicopter onto a ship.
We're not
Yeah.
nearly as cool.
Commitment.
I was
Wasn't
working
even
one day,
Xbox.
and this dude came up to me like, "Why the hell is there a giant box with your name on it?" And I went, It's literally my
That
reaction.
probably
I was
was
like,
amazing though. Shit, that
Yeah.
was so cool. And finally, the final question on our games
Sidebar.
questionnaire.
Yeah.
We've been going on a
This
while.
is like a
Yeah, this is one of those
Sidebar is
retro
perfect
replay
for that.
episode tangents where we just go on for a while.
yeah, we read for Harry Potter as well, like when
I
you
know.
were gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
What games would you like to see the guys play in a feature? I'm gonna guess Margot is gonna say something like Assassin's Creed.
Actually, no, that's not what I was gonna say.
Oh, I got schooled. Okay, go ahead.
But okay,
Oh, burn.
I want
Yeah, go
them
ahead.
to play Borderlands.
Really?
I really want them, and maybe Ratchet and Clank.
Good one.
I would
Those
love
are
to see
good
them play Ratchet and
suggestions.
Clank.
Yeah, I
same.
think that's been on our podcast a few times, right?
Yeah,
Ratchet and Clank. That'd be cool.
Maybe.
people want that.
think so, wouldn't
People
surprise
want that.
Yeah.
People
And then
want
maybe
it.
people want, and then maybe Assassins, because like it would be cool to see Nolan play Desmond. So
that would be
quite
cool.
Because we never get tired
Yeah.
of watching Nolan play as himself.
No,
Just never get tired of
we
watching Nolan
never.
play in general. In general. Beth,
On the
what
note
about
of-
you?
I have two.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
Hubert, which is why I always say on
Hubert! Yes, It's a great
I would love
game.
to see
I
the
forgot about that.
voices and the stories that come out of Hubert. The other
Oh.
one is Boulder's Gate.
Baldur's Gate. I don't think I know
I
that
could
game.
I don't
appreciate the
know.
Baldur's
No.
Gate.
Mm,
Baldur's Gate
That'd
is a
be very
cooperative action
interesting.
adventure RPG game.
yeah.
Ah,
Yeah,
definitely won't know anything
it's-
about that then.
No. Don't know.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
I heard-
Tom, get on that.
Tom, get in
there
on
you
it.
go.
Tom, what are
Like,
you
look at me.
We
Face
always
Now
this
said,
hat.
Margot said something about like, and you
That's
guys
the note to
talking about
Tom.
Nolan playing himself. There's actually a Sly Cooper game that he was in that he played the villain.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
He played
cool.
2 of the villains, so it'd be interesting to see him play against himself.
I like it. I think that'd be interesting.
I like
Yeah.
that. I think that would be really entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Same.
I have that game.
Speaking of Uncle Noli, we
Mhm.
got yet another episode this week of Uncle Noli Knows, Uncle Noli Advice. Which was a little heartfelt this week. I gotta say. There were more heartfelty moments than I feel like piss myself laughing moments in this one. Anybody else kind of agree with that?
Yeah.
It was kind of, like, for me, it was like 50-50.
Okay. Because
Kinda,
like I mean
yeah.
there were some pretty funny ones like about spicing
Yeah.
your marriage and like that kind of thing and having
Yeah.
dinner with who would you have dinner with, dead or alive? And he's like, well, having dinner with a dead person could be really macabre. Which I thought that was a great way to interpret that question. But of course. But we got some interesting questions. The 2 in particular that I really thought were interesting were about imposter syndrome and
that was
the
quite
depression
interesting.
advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Discuss.
Yeah.
Well, like the imposter syndrome definitely stuck out to me when he talked about that. Oddly enough, Nolan didn't know what it was and said he had to look it up. But I feel like I actually hadn't been aware of imposter syndrome until a few years ago when I started looking into games, media, and journalism, and I started hearing about writers having imposter syndrome and entertainers, much like ourselves with our podcast and stuff like that. Someone who does a medium like this and struggling with success, kind of in a way, where you do something that people are like, "Oh, this is a good thing," and then you're like, no, it can't be good. I did it. It's impossible that it's good.
Yeah.
Agree.
Agree.
We touched on that earlier. Well, Pagan was off as well. It's about how I don't like the sound of my voice. I'm not a huge fan of like my head shape and stuff. And so.
Aw. I'm a big fan of your head shape.
Thank you.
I approve of
I'm
your
having
head
a
shape.
haircut and I want it shorter. Everybody's like, "No, your face is too." Thanks.
What?
So yeah.
Don't listen
So
to those losers. Your
Oh
face.
my
my friend's a
God.
customer. I should be knowing what I want. Thanks.
That's true, hey. But yeah.
I would love to have choice. I'm just saying.
Everybody would.
Sweet
Who
Oh
doesn't?
my
balls.
gosh. I've also always been a fan of pink, so I've always like did that kind of hairstyle, like that very
Nice.
short pixie cut. So.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds more like a body image sort of issue. Like, I don't want to go too psychological on you, but that's more. Most people deal with that though. That's very common that for people to have body image problems. Yeah, attractive
all
people,
the time.
Obese people, like anyone can go through body
Yeah.
image struggles. It doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, my mom goes through that all the time.
Yeah.
She's a heavier set woman, and so I think part of that is just from growing up and watching her struggle
It's a
with
cultural
it.
thing.
Yeah.
It's definitely something like that. Like, I mean, I've had the same thing with my mom, and I've inherited it for sure. Like, I just there's a lot that I don't like about myself, I guess. But I think like the worst I've had imposter syndrome were 2 occasions. One was my recent job. I went for a job and I got like a job as a sales manager in a hotel. And I'd never had a sales manager job before, and like every day I would freak out being like, am I supposed to be doing? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I've not been trained for this. They didn't provide any training. They took a risk on me as much as I took a risk taking the job. So they were very understanding. And I would just make it very clear, the hotel I worked for was super lovely and did in no way impose that pressure on me. It was only self-inflicted because I felt like I don't have the experience or commitment to do this. And that's how, like, that affected me for a long time. For about 8 months, I was like, I can't do this because they've given me this title and I don't feel like I deserve it, and I don't know how to properly use this position to get them where they needed to be. So ultimately, look, I ended up leaving that job, and I have a job now that I'm much more comfortable in. But I feel like for the sake of my sanity, I'm super happy I left it. Super great job, love it.
Yeah.
And for someone who's an experienced sales manager, that job is ace. The company, the people, they were so fucking nice. Just me, I couldn't handle the pressure. I couldn't handle the daily pressures I put myself under.
Right.
And the second, like, imposter syndrome I always have is if I'm casting anything. Someone's like, hey, like, Pagan, they're gonna cast you in this. They're gonna be like a 3-day thing, and you're gonna have 6 lines. And I'm like, cool. And I get there, and I'm like, like, let's put you in the makeup chair, and you're sitting there, and you're like, and like people are talking to you and like going through things like, hey, how are you doing, or whatever. And like ultimately at the end of the day, you have to trust the system. And I'm just talking to actors now in general. Like, if you've ever felt this way, if a casting director has seen your tape and have cast you in a thing, trust that they know what they're doing, because they are the casting directors and they've like liked you enough to put you in their film, movie, TV, whatever it is. So just trust that they know what they're doing because they've hired you, and you know what you're doing because you submitted a tape that got them to hire you. So you just sort of have to be like, yeah, I got this. I'm gonna say my one line with confidence. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just because you're then, especially if you have a small part. Like, I've had a few small parts, and I'm like freaking out because you're just like, well, am I glorified extra? Should I be in a trailer? I don't know if I should. Like, I have a credit. Why? Why do I have a credit? Like, so there's a lot of stuff that I've dealt with, like imposter syndrome. On a daily basis, I don't, but it's in those situations where if somebody has put me in a position and I'm like, I don't think I deserve this. That's kind of where I freak out a little bit. Anybody else have that kind of feeling like this is like, oh, I don't know where I'm supposed to be?
So, like, I only graduated on a like Wednesday, so I haven't had like a job or like you had a job where you felt like self-conscious about like, are you good enough and stuff. But like in school, in uni, most of the time, like with my filming, I can't, like, oh guys, I just like, I have an idea and then everyone's like, okay, what's your idea? And then I stress, I'm like, my idea isn't good enough, my idea is like bad. And then I tell them and they're like, oh, it's a good idea. And I'm just like, no, you're lying to me. That's like,
yeah, I get
and
that
with my stop motions as well.
Oh, you've stop motion? But yeah, I get
Can you
what you're
guys hear
talking
me
about.
now? Should I repeat?
I've heard
Should I
everything.
repeat?
Yeah, I've heard
Oh,
everything.
okay.
Yeah, you're good.
So it's more like in that sense. And like now with my whole like social media, trying to get all my like documentaries out, all my nature footage out, I'm just like, should I post this? Like, is it good enough? Like,
Oh man.
yeah, so
Social media has this as well, and like I was talking about this
yeah.
to Grace today, because I put up a video, and yes, it's of me singing, and I don't actually put up a lot of videos of me singing because I'm not super confident in it because it's just not something that I do, and I don't ever introduce myself like, "Hi, I'm Pagan, I'm a singer, I can sing."
Boy.
I don't
Doesn't
ever,
really
yeah,
do
like
that
I don't
well.
ever do that, and like it's not something that I would promote. So I was having this chat with
Yeah.
Grace, Grace Frick, so I was having this conversation with Grace, and I was just like, it's just a weird thing that it's a thing of when you're about to post on social media, you're like, do I? Oh my god, no! Now I have instant regret, and like Twitter doesn't
Yeah.
edit anything, so you're just like, oh, no, I have instant regret, and I don't know how to do this. And then by the time you posted it, there's already 3 or 4 people who've seen it and liked it, and you're like, like I still think it's a bad idea. So I feel like social media does not help the whole imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But side note, Pagan, you actually get views.
Oof.
Day in his
Hot take.
life.
Side note,
We've already
listen.
established this.
You're acting at me. Like,
Um,
That's just like with the heirloom
Views are
thing
relative.
on Instagram. Like there was a few of those that I was like, should I post this? I don't know. So
Oh,
some of
the
them I
heirloom
did end up
challenge?
sending to them directly instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's okay, because I had to send
So
something directly to them because I was like, I can't post this publicly because I don't have
that's what I'm
anything
saying.
written
Yeah.
information.
Well, I
I
want
was
to make
like,
a,
but you can
little note on any and all this social media posting nonsense as far as not calling you guys nonsense, not saying this is nonsense, I'm talking about
Nonsense,
social
like-
media in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am happy to know that you guys feel any level of hesitation before you post something on social media. If you are the type of person that can post something on social media without stopping for half a second and thinking, should I post this? Something is wrong with you.
Yeah.
I have
That's
to
a fair enough
say,
point.
I have to say with TikTok, I'm kind of like I can post anything because I saw multiple people
Sure.
without makeup on doing like weird
Yeah,
stuff.
those are
So
those
I'm
people.
just like, I'm just like,
Right. Yeah.
I look good on TikTok comparing to them.
Right.
Like because
Yeah.
my stuff is kind of normal. So like, but
Yeah.
on Instagram, oh no, hey.
If it has something to
Instagram
do
is
with
like the
like,
only one that then my family follows me on, so I'm like,
Yeah.
yay. Twitter not so much. So
I
Yeah.
feel like
That-
on Instagram, I'm probably less consistent. Like, I feel like I want to try and be more consistent on that kind of social media.
Yeah.
But with Twitter, like, I try and keep everything as positive as possible, even if it's about a dark or gloomy thing. Like, I'd rather spin it in a positive way if possible, because like
That's
I know
nice
it's a
of
social
you.
media platform and people will probably see it and either agree or not. And like, if you want to start a debate, cool. If not, if it helps you, then great. Like, that's kind of why I pause and I'm like, relevant. I don't know. Like, it's expressing what I'm feeling at the moment, but in a positive twist. So I'm hoping that this will come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know.
that makes
Look,
sense.
social media is weird.
But
This whole social media
the
thing is
thing
like
is
so new to
also-
human race. It's unreal.
Like
Yeah.
if you have YouTube or anything and you get one follower and you tell your mom, you're like, I have one follower, and she's like, oh, that's me.
Right.
That's my mom for sure. For sure.
Same.
That happens so much in my life.
Actually,
Aw.
my
And
mom
then-
is more of the be careful what you post person, and then that's about the extent of doesn't have actually watch my stuff.
No,
My
my
mom's the
mom's
same.
like the first one commenting, first one liking it. And like I'm very grateful,
Aw.
like I like it, but I'm just like, but why can't other people?
Right, yeah. Yep, no, I get that.
I think it depends on what you post. How do you feel about the whole social media thing, Dan? Do you ever feel like an imposter syndrome
Yeah.
in anything that you're doing at the moment, or like with social media? Do you hesitate and be like, "Do I need to post this? Like, should I stop?"
For sure. I mean, I wasn't going to go into too much detail, but since you posed a question, I would say we went through it enough and still go through it with our own show here with the Replayer podcast.
Oh yeah,
mean,
sure.
Even in the beginning, especially, I was talking to the ladies here off the show previously about how in the beginning, there was a lot of like, am I good enough? Do I sound right? Do I have the voice for this? And
Okay.
even in the months and almost a year now since we've started the show, when people tell me that they like my voice or they think I have a good podcast voice, or they think I have a good voice in general, I'm always like, no, you're full of shit. Shut up. You're lying to me. And it's something I deal with on a regular basis. And I could
Mhm.
even say that I even deal with it as an ex-military veteran. Like, I
Okay.
don't feel like that, but I have that status, but I don't talk about it. I don't share it. And I don't know. It's a weird thing to explain, especially when
Yeah.
Yeah.
like I've had people have misnomers about what it means to be a veteran, and I try not to bring it up with some people, especially if they just have a very narrow-minded view on that aspect.
Mhm.
But I don't
Mm.
want to go into too much more on that.
Sure. No, that's fine.
Understandable.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's interesting. I think like we both kind of had that same, especially regarding the podcast, where like a year ago we were like,
Yeah.
Like it was just a bit like, okay,
Oh
we're
my
doing
God.
and it came about so quickly as well that we kind of just didn't even give ourselves time to be like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Right.
Yeah, we should research this more. Well, we didn't. We just learned on the spot, and we're learning as we go, and it's great. I like it.
It is great.
Yeah, and I think like the
It's
advice
fun.
that Nolan gave as well was really interesting on the show about imposter syndrome and just trying to like improve your confidence and like it's this whole Troy Baker mantra of like you are enough. You do matter, and your opinions matter, and you're valid, and you should just believe in yourself more. Just get a bit more self confidence, which is so nice. A lot of this. There we go. You are enough. See that? Beth came prepared. She came
And it had
prepared.
the PS4 controller on it.
I saw that.
I disapprove all of that.
Yeah, all of it. Remove it all from
That
my
whole
site.
thing is null and void now because it has a PS4 controller on it.
It has a controller on it, that's all.
So I thought like
Anyway.
it was a really interesting part of the show, and of course like Nolan also touched on depression and like just reach out and talk to people, and I think that's what this community does really well is that we just all reach out to each other, and it's the reason we created this show is to get more involved with the community and find out about who everybody else is. I really appreciated the episode of Uncle Nolly's advice this week because of the heartfelt moments in it.
Yeah, agree.
Comedy is great always, and I love Nolan for it. But I feel like the heartfelt messages in this kind of important.
Yeah,
Agreed.
true.
So yeah. So moving on, they did also have an episode this week, which is a real shock to me because of obviously the whole COVID lockdown thing. And they did a retro replay level Black Tiger, which was the last episode.
It was level
The
1.
last pilot.
It was a level
Yeah.
1 episode.
Yeah.
It was 30 minutes, right? Because I think it finished just before 12:30.
It was very inflated though because you had all the bits of Nolan in the beginning, and
Yeah,
they
true.
added cutaways to the original video shoot. So I'm sure that original
Right.
video was maybe 15 minutes, maybe
Mhm.
20.
Right.
Okay, good point.
Right.
Yeah,
Good
Well,
but
I
I
was
didn't
really
know
happy
if
because I
I
like
should
level 1.
laugh. Bye.
point.
They kept saying in the live chat that they didn't like the angle of the videos, like when they were
angles.
shooting.
Well, they had that
like,
wide
on
shot to
side of
show
the
the
couch
bar.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Right. I actually like that because to me, as a viewer,
also
I
like
feel like I'm
that.
actually in the room with them versus just
Interesting.
watching the show when they have it censored. That's just me though.
Interesting. You prefer the
get
wide angle
that.
shot even when they clip over to the right hand side where you kind of get like a side shot of Nolan
Well,
and
that's what I'm
Troy.
saying is when they go over to like the sidebar or they show like the whole couch where they're trying to show a little bit of the TV and stuff. I like that because to me, I'm in the room. I'm it's not facing forward.
And then
Where
I will go off of
talking
that
like
and say
this.
that I feel like it brought back the illusion of the fact that it was a real basement.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like you're in the basement with them versus watching someone
The
who's
paneling,
just
all the
broadcasting it.
brown.
Right.
I get that. I understand that like the paneling. I actually really love the original level 1 set.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to disagree with you about the angles because I think the angles now are better because of the cutaways that you get for Nolan and for Troy individually. Because it's
Yes.
much more centered and you feel a bit more connected with like especially with like Troy's facial expressions or Nolan's facial expressions
much
when he's doing
tighter
like
on
Uncle
them.
Nolan knows. Much tighter,
yeah.
and it feels a bit more connected that way. But I do understand what you're saying. Like it's less of a close up and more like just a different angle of the show.
It's kind
I
of
can-
more personal.
I can add to
in
Pagan's
life.
point. Like, I like the old level 1 basement because it looked and felt like a basement. But more to Pagan's points
Yeah.
with the angles being tighter and more focused on them is also because this is more of a set and it's grown and expanded. It's better
Okay.
for them to have these camera angles that work for the set. Because before it was just kind of like, here's this room with a couch, a bar, and like one shelf. There wasn't a lot to hide. So it was okay for them to have these open, wide angles. Now there's much more going on. It's much more of a studio, and it's more appropriate for them to have these very specific shots.
Yeah.
We don't want to see
Yeah,
too much behind the
makes
curtain
sense.
of what's happening.
Yeah, I see what you
Yeah,
mean.
we still
Yeah,
want
I
that
see that.
illusion. Yeah. I like the whiskey though.
Me too.
That was
Yes.
It
like
helps
I
me
like
understand the
that.
point.
Straight
I
into it.
really liked I liked that because I really like whiskey, so it kind of made me feel like I'm drinking with them because who has Guinness all the time at home? Like I have whiskey
Speak
all the
Irish.
time.
No, just kidding.
I
don't
used to
ever
have
have Guinness.
I used to have either Guinness or whiskey while I watched the show back in the beginning.
That's kind of nice
I
though. I
don't
feel like then
like,
you are drinking
I-
like that.
I drink whiskey because like I like whiskey. Or like but like I don't have Guinness at home. So like I really like
You
the
can
episode.
still drink
because-
whiskey. I'm sure they'll approve.
Yes, I'm sure.
I
they will
think so
definitely
too.
approve.
Like it will be like they will approve, but it just felt like I'm having a drink with the guys, you know.
Uh-huh.
But it's okay. Like I can go back to that episode and just like relive that moment.
Right,
True.
exactly.
True.
Yeah.
I also like because this was their last pilot, right? This was like the very first episode that they shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's incredibly interesting that it's off the bat. I think 20 minutes was the first tangent. Like they didn't get into the gameplay or the game at all for like a
Right,
good 15,
yeah.
20 minutes, and I was like,
Things
is
never
great.
change,
Like,
right?
yeah, this is so good. And I feel like later on in the show, like in the episodes and everything, we're all timing before like the cold open before they say, you know,
Yes.
what's going to happen.
Yeah.
We're all like, oh, 15 minutes is the longest or whatever. I'm like, I feel like the last pilot has just beaten that record.
Should,
It's just like,
exactly
oh, we're
that,
just gonna
yeah.
do a full cold open and not at
was-
all introduce the show.
It was
Great.
so long.
Which makes
That
you
was a
think,
great
how
episode,
long
though.
did they actually record all that? Because it could be technically longer.
Mm. Oh, I'm sure
I'm
there's
too
plenty
afraid.
of unaired footage.
Yeah.
In that original
I'm
opening,
too
though, there was a
afraid,
moment
like-
where Troy was like, you know, I'm Troy Baker and this is Nolan North and this is a thing we're calling retro replay.
Oh,
Right.
okay, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
their
But
intro.
gameplay wise, it didn't touch the game until like
True.
20 minutes in,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Yeah.
The thing that blew my damn mind. Firstly, I have no idea about anything about Black Tiger. It
Never
gave
heard
me a
of it.
lot of Seamus the Night vibes.
Mhm.
It was
um,
very much Ghosts and Goblins.
Very much Ghosts and
Throwing
Goblins.
daggers.
But I think I really enjoyed. What blew my mind is the ending. And Nolan's like, "What do you want to play next?" And I was
Yeah.
like,
That was
I didn't know.
love.
Yeah. Yep.
You realize
Nolan's a
Nolan has created like all the staples of the show, right? He
Hey,
did
Troy
the-
had some good moments. let's not go down this road again.
Yes.
It's a team effort, guys. Team effort.
Team effort. To be fair though, Troy did plot.
Yes.
So Troy has
Yes.
plot. A name drop, I think. Christopher Walken.
I-
Like,
Yeah.
just a little-
yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the show that like
He's like,
kind of accumulated all together. And I think in the live chat I said, how did you guys think that this would be the show would be where it is today from this episode? And Drew was like, I mean, is it really all that different? And I get you, like it kind of isn't in terms of like tangent and gameplay, but look at the size of the community, look at the structure they have now for the show. They
Yeah.
now have a tangent.
Yeah, I think
section.
it wouldn't be so much successful when it first came out.
I think
I don't-
there's a charm about those original episodes. There's definitely a charm about level 1 that got everyone, and I feel like there's a lot of us, including Dan, who's like diehard fans of level 1, as
Yeah.
opposed to level 2 and 3. Because I feel like they were shorter gameplay focused episodes.
Yeah, that's about accurate, I'd say.
I love it. Yep. Doing
You
all
know-
the talking for Dan tonight. Just yep.
Yep.
I agree
There's
with you.
a question on
You summed it up
the
perfectly,
Zoom
Pagan. I
chat
have
the
no
other
other
day.
words.
that was, what's your favorite episode of Retro Replay?
Oh, there's so much.
Oh, we've done that on the podcast before.
We have done that on the podcast before.
We have.
I still stand by Seamus the Night. The Ghosts and Goblins episode is fantastic because of, obvious reasons. Burger Time was great. Everyone loves the Spider-Man episode because they're like, that was the first episode we got and Nolan lost his shit. And I'm like, have y'all seen Burger Time? Because Burger Time, he really lost it.
Yeah.
So that was one of my best episodes in terms of like the frustration level that he achieved in that. It was just great. And the Call of Duty episode. the like real heart to heart. Let's just
Wow.
chat and work this out. It was pretty
Yeah.
great too.
I know I've been very vocal about my passion for Dragon's Lair. Was one of my favorite episodes.
Level 2, episode 1.
Obviously, my favorite is still the Die Hard Christmas special because that was my
Oh,
first episode.
so good.
That was the first thing that
That
made me
was.
like, I have to watch this show.
Mhm.
But if I had to order them, it would probably be Die Hard, Dragon's Lair, and then I'm leaning towards Ninja Gaiden.
The
You know
Ninja
why?
Gaiden episode is fantastic. Yay!
It's the first Phil Kensington. Come on.
Yeah.
It was the birth
That
of
was
Phil
great.
Kensington.
Mm-hmm.
So how about you,
It-
ladies?
I have
Yeah.
2.
Go ahead.
I have the Call of Duty one as well, Pagan. And then the other one is Rampage. And Rampage is because I'm the one that suggested it.
Nice.
Hey, that's so cool.
So
I have yet to
Yes!
suggest a game
He
with those
saw my
guys.
thing.
One day.
I could almost say
that's
Resident
cool.
Evil, but I can't take credit for Resident Evil.
Hey man, did you mention that before in the podcast?
I know.
Like,
If he was really listening, they would play Akari Warriors.
that's
Drew.
true. Actually, you've been suggesting Akari
Hubert.
Warriors from the first episode.
Yeah.
First
That would
episode.
be nice.
Margot, what about you?
I think I really like the Call of Duty one as well. But
Unpopular opinion, I don't like the Call of Duty episode.
I feel like we spoke about it when it came out, and you were oh, this episode, and I think I was also in that kind of frame of mind. But looking back on it now, like I actually appreciate the heart to heart.
you kind of
sit down and talk about it.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
kind of have to be in the right mindset for that episode.
Yeah.
If it makes sense. And then I kind of like the Spider-Man episode. It was just
It's a great episode.
It
I
was
think it's
just
great,
nice,
and it gave
yeah.
us Frank and Edith.
Mm-hmm.
Great. The first
Yeah.
character cutaways, which is just perfect. I do love
Yeah.
it, but I just
But-
loved the frustration in Burger Time.
I
So
kind of
good.
like I love all episodes. Like there isn't one I can say that I hated or dislike. No.
Definitely not. No.
So
There has definitely been 1 or 2 episodes where I think like I talked about on the podcast where I'd be like, I wasn't feeling this episode.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it is now, but I've definitely said that to you, Dan, and I was like, yeah, I just
I
wasn't
can
feeling
remember
this.
that. I remember
Didn't
us
enjoy
having
the
that
energy.
where you're like, I
Yeah.
wasn't feeling this one, and I almost want to say it was like late level 2, maybe when they were
feel
playing
like it
like a
was.
Nintendo 64 game or something.
Yeah.
Mm.
I can't remember which
Yeah.
one, but it's one that just stood out for me, and I felt like there was an episode, I don't know where it is or what one it was, but there was an episode where I just felt the energy felt like, let's record an episode
Stale.
because we have to record an episode. That's
Right,
how
yeah.
it felt. It could, like, I could
I
be
think
completely wrong, but
No, I felt that about a couple of things too. A couple
Yeah.
episodes myself.
it's just
So you're not alone.
but
on
it's
that.
still not like I dislike those episodes.
No,
Like, I will
right.
still watch
But
it.
you'll still watch the episode.
Yeah.
And to anyone's credit, like it's hard to constantly keep smacking
So
out
hard.
bangers, every single time.
Right,
And I'm, like,
exactly.
What I think,
I know
yeah.
we've got stale episodes of the podcast here and there, not to anyone's discredit or anything. It just happens.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I also
Yeah.
think that like it's definitely on like how busy the guys because obviously they're
Mhm.
not recording these
Yeah,
every Thursday like we think they are. They might be filming
Right.
2 or 3 episodes in one day.
Right.
So be like, hey, let's shoot for 6 or 7 hours because we live in LA and the studios are a little bit away, so it's like a 2-hour drive or something.
Yeah.
So it's,
Right.
you know what I mean? So it's like let's travel 2
Mm.
hours, stay there for 8 hours, and record a couple episodes and then come back. So I feel like there will always be that energy somewhere, but they're very good at what they do.
Yeah.
And I feel like only but sorry, Drew, but I had to have a little backup there with my springs. Yeah, cool. I mean, I'm happy to wrap up the podcast. I feel like we've done a lot. We've touched on a lot of topics. Is there anything that you guys would like to comment on about the most recent episode regarding the Lost pilot, the Black Tiger episode, before we wrap up?
I've never heard of that game before.
Me neither.
No,
It's me.
never.
I started clapping though, like when I think Nolan defeated the 2 floating head things,
Mm.
and then immediately after died.
I did get
because
very into it
celebrated-
when they get really into the game. Sorry. Go.
Yeah. No, I think this is the same. As soon
Yeah.
as they start getting into it, that makes the game makes the episode better for me, I think.
Well, that was like when they played what was that game they played a few weeks ago with it was an old school like arcade game like that with a Karate Kid or
Half-Life?
something.
No.
Old school arcade game,
Kid
Beth. Old
Nicky.
school arcade.
Kid Nicky.
Kid Nicky, that's
Probably
the
it.
one. Yes.
Oh.
They got super into that game. Like they got super into like getting to the levels, and that to me is always fun when they do that.
Yeah.
Same.
Agree.
I haven't seen Ready Player One yet either, so I still don't know how that relates to anything.
Me neither.
And they
No.
tangented
So-
like crazy on that, so
Surprise for us when we watch that, I guess.
Yeah.
I've watched
I
it.
wanna
I didn't
know.
like it.
Oh.
I've watched
Oh.
it. I'm just like, I'm very like Steven Spielberg. You could have done better.
Woo.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I feel like if you watch his other movies, how you watch that, you're just like, huh?
Fair enough.
What's
Hey, look.
happening?
I'm just
That's
flashing
just
my edit
my
of like
opinion.
black bars like beep.
Yeah. Margot's views do not respect the views of the Replayer podcast. Steven Spielberg, we still like you. Like,
We love Steven Spielberg. It was just that movie.
it's
Like,
just that
Such a
one
good
movie.
movie.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Just that
Um,
one.
well, I mean, if there is anything that you'd like to promote, I would like to give you that opportunity to do so now. Is there anything that you'd like to promote for yourself or social medias if people want to try and follow you? What can they find you at? Margot, what about you?
Okay. So, I need more followers for my nature photography Instagram page, though. So, I'm going to
Oh.
promote that.
Yes,
So I'm gonna
please.
promote that. I also have a YouTube, but mostly everything I post on Instagram is what I post on YouTube
Okay.
and on TikTok. So I do nature photography and videography, and it's basically the username is Green Humanity Captures.
We can pop it down in the links in the description. Anyway.
Okay,
Like Green
I'll say in it.
Green Humanity Captures. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, you're good.
the claim.
That's like dun 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 dun.
It's like
Ding.
follow me.
Yeah. What about you, Beth?
So I do a reaction video almost every Thursday when they have retro replay, and I try to do the reaction videos for when they do have the live show, unless I'm working. And now we have the Zoom chats, so I don't do that anymore, but usually I try to, and that's at my that's on my YouTube, which is 7, like the number 7, white
Mhm.
hole, and then the number 15.
Sam.
And so
The commitment is so great.
otherwise, most of the videos there will be of my cat
Oh, they're so
So-
cute.
or travel
Okay.
videos for whenever I do travel. So
Great.
yeah.
So
And we
mostly
will
on
variety.
YouTube or Instagram.
Mostly on YouTube. I am on like most of my platforms are the 7 White Wolf 15. Otherwise, the only one that isn't is Twitter, which is Tree Lesh Benzio, which is a play on 3 less than you, which is actually a heart symbol.
Oh, that's adorable. I didn't
So-
know that.
So my
Oh, there you
friend
go.
took the 3 less than you, and I was like, okay, I'll just modify it slightly, and that's what came out.
Oh,
So-
that's really cute. I like that. We'll pop them in the
Yeah,
description
it's
link below if you
cute.
want to pop that in for us.
Yes.
Dan.
Let's see. What do I got going on right now? I've been working on my streaming.
Like take out the scroll and be like, what else do I have going on? Yeah.
I've been trying to get into focusing on my stream a little bit more, playing some VG games, getting
VG
some more
games.
followers. Trying to push the 100 followers still, trying to get up the average viewers so we can have some affiliations. But
Oh, heck yeah.
you can catch me and or Brandy also playing on Twitch on my Starkey Vash page. I do have a YouTube, but I haven't uploaded to that in a while, but I hope to change that soon. Probably start editing videos and putting them onto YouTube to watch. I could promote the Replayer Happy Hour, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely do
Wait,
that.
what?
Mhm.
Replay a happy
Now
hour.
that we've been doing that for 3 weeks, it's been very successful, I would say. I don't know how many people we can manage in it, so I don't know if we want too many people.
Everybody,
coming. It
pop
gets
in.
kind of chaotic, but the
Mm,
replayer
that's-
happy hour that
yeah.
we have on Thursdays at 4 p.m. Central Time, right before the show airs, a bunch of replayers just get together on Zoom and hang out and chat, and it goes on for a long time, and it's fun.
That, by the way, Margot, would be around 11 o'clock your time because it's 10 o'clock my time, PM. So it'd be
Yeah.
around 11 o'clock your time.
Okay, that's
on
fine.
Thursday
But
nights.
I
So I-
can't stay wait until 2.
You don't
That's
have to stay
fine.
that long.
Don't worry
You
about
just
it.
come
You don't
say
have to
hi.
stay.
No, but like
no.
no, I just miss like
The
each
episode?
Thursday. Yeah, because I can't stay up till 2. I have a bedtime.
Yeah, I have a bedtime.
Bedtime.
That is
No,
so
not
true to
really.
me.
Like
So good.
like sometimes like I feel like an 80-year-old woman. I'm like in bed by 7.
Mhm.
I
No,
feel you on that. I feel you.
So-
Yeah, that's me. I feel like a grandma because I go to bed at like, oh, it's 10 o'clock. I've got to go to bed now. See you later. And then like I'll stay on my phone until 12 because I'm a dickhead.
That yeah.
Terrible.
So bad. I need to stop. I need to put the phone down and read a
That's
I'll
true.
start doing that.
Or the audiobook of Harry Potter.
for that read by Stephen Fry.
Well, she wants me to do
Oh.
an audiobook of Harry Potter.
Read by
Oh,
Dan.
you have to do an audiobook of Harry Potter?
That's what
Sure.
Margaret
Yeah.
was asking me. That she wants me to read
Oh,
Harry
yeah.
Potter.
Hey, that's cool.
I've been
I-
reading
Side avenue for you.
this on my socials.
Oh, sweet. What's it
Oh.
about?
So, it takes place in Germany before the war. And then
Oh,
like skips to the future a little bit. With the daughter, so goes back
Cool.
and forth between the mother and daughter. So
Oh,
That's
cool.
interesting.
Is that on your for your Insta?
it's on my Instagram and on my
Ah.
Twitter. I switch that way. People can just they missed one on one platform, they can go onto the other platform and get the next chapter. And so yeah.
Key day.
So
Oh, that's not.
I'll try to wrap up my socials.
Yeah, I was
You're
gonna say
going
like,
off on
let's just
another
cut Dan
sidebar.
off. So sorry, Dan. Continue.
I do normally share the link to the Zoom meeting in the Replayer Facebook group, and I also tweet it. And with a Zoom meeting, it is password protected usually, so that we're not getting like Zoom bombers and spammers and whatnot. And otherwise, if you don't already follow me on like Twitter, you can find me at StarkEvash on Twitter. It's StarkyVash instead of Stark Evil.
What?
But I'm Stark Evil Vash on everything else.
Mhm.
Okay.
On Twitch and Instagram, Stark Evil Bash, right?
Yeah, I don't do anything on Instagram though, but you can follow me if you want.
You can follow. I'm not active.
You-
but
you
sure.
can follow. I do too much.
Follow all you guys now.
Hey,
Once in a
well,
while,
there
I
you go.
post
Yeah.
on there. Once in a while.
Yeah,
I'll
far too active. I need to stop. You can follow me if you want active social media content at pagan_plays on Twitch. I stream every Tuesday and Thursday at the minute. Tuesdays God of War. Thank you, Beth, for joining in. God of War playthrough on Tuesdays at the moment, and then on Thursdays it was Witcher 3, but I'm switching it up, and I think we're gonna start playing Doom again.
Did you say twitching it up?
Ooh.
Twitching it up? I didn't, but I should
Oh,
have.
You should have. Absolutely.
Damn.
I'm twitching
She
it up.
did say that.
I'm twitching it.
That's
Look,
when you go
cut
in
that.
and when you edit this and you cut it and you put it in where it
Cut
should
that, Dan. Make me look smarter, for God's sake.
If you're gonna thank Beth, I can thank Beth as well for coming and hanging out with my Resident Evil streams. It's been a good time lately.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, thanks a lot to everybody in the community that have been joining in and on
Yeah.
both of our streams.
Just an
I'm
open thank you
sure.
to all the replayers who come and support us. and-
Open thank you.
Yeah.
For everything, supporting the show, supporting where we are right now with the Replayer podcast, supporting myself and Dan on Twitch. It's super, super lovely to see you guys there, and
Absolutely.
it's great to interact with everybody. So thank you so much. It's at pagan_plays on Twitch and on Instagram, and just pagan plays on YouTube. But I haven't really.
I forgot
Maybe
to
it's just
mention
with
too,
my
guy.
cat. Go
Sorry,
ahead.
I was waiting. I forgot to mention on mine as far as Twitch goes that we're doing the video game giveaway. I've mentioned it before. Just wanted to throw it back out there.
Okay.
When we get to 100 followers, we're going to do a giveaway of a video game of some form.
Yay.
Everyone who comes to my
So
Twitch,
go follow him on Twitch.
everyone who
Beth Anne.
follows and chats gets an entry every time.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
That is cool.
Do it.
Do it.
insert
Do
the-
it.
What's the guy that does it? He's like, do it. Is it Senator Palpatine?
Emperor.
Emperor? Sorry.
Emperor. I mean, he was a senator.
No, I was thinking of
Ah,
Shia
see,
LaBeouf,
see,
like,
I knew he was a
do
senator
it.
at some point. Yeah, that's true. Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, that's what
Um,
I had in mind. I
No,
thought
that's
you were
a throwback.
That is a throwback. So yeah, and on
That's
Twitter, I'm at AppleEyes2, which will pop in the links below, or you can just Google Pagan Plays on Twitter, and you'll probably see my face. There is somebody else that's Pagan_plays on Twitter. That's not me. That is not me. It is somebody else from Germany.
Doppelganger.
I've recently just discovered it. But that's not me. You will see my face on Twitter if it's me.
Somebody's stealing your identity.
It's cool. They can have it. I got to like that's all I'm interested. Also, thank you so much to Drew, Troy, PJ, Paul, Stephanie, and Tom for all that you do. Because without this, without your show, this Replayer podcast wouldn't exist. So thank you so much for all the stuff that you're doing at the moment, especially regarding like this COVID lockdown and stuff like that. Trying to stay active within the community is just thank you. You can also leave us a voice message on the Replayer podcast, like the one Drew did last week, by clicking the link in the description below, and maybe we'll play it on the show. We likely will. Just leave us a voice message. We hope you enjoyed our podcast, and if you'd like to hear more, please go ahead, like and subscribe, and comment, rate, and review. That would be great. If you have any other suggestions, you can email them over to thereplayerpodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, where we post all of our Replayer, kind of like when we're going live and everything. We go live every Wednesday. We upload every Wednesday at the moment, so we can find all the links there or on myself and Dan's socials.
And we now
Thank you
have
so
a
much,
support
Margot.
page.
Oh my gosh, yes we do. You can answer the show if you'd like to donate soup to keep the show going and to improve the quality of the content that you are listening to, watching. You can also do that by clicking on the support link.
And you can
Thank you so
donate
much,
as
Beth.
little as $1 a month.
Oh, there you go. I didn't know that. There's a minimum of $1 a month. But yeah, thank you so much, Margot. Thank you so much, Beth, for joining us today. It was a pleasure to have you guys on, for dedicating some time for our podcast here. Thank you.
Cue
All
the
right.
music.
Yeah.
And with that, it's game over, folks. Thanks.
Game
Here.
over.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.